Well, I already started the show off telling you guys all about my tour guiding background. So enough time wasting. We gotta talk about history. It's time to give a little tour, huh? How do you feel about that? Ah, let's go on a tour. Hey, look at that. I used to do that was me. Oh man, look, I used to point at stuff all the time. All right, you could be watching Snow White right now, but you're not. All right, the spring is coming soon, and dabbing rat. What are we gonna do a tour of today, huh? What could it possibly be? It could be this neighborhood with beautiful views, huh? Beautiful views. It could also be a neighborhood with great food, representing countries like Egypt and Colombia and Greece, huh? We're talking about Astoria today, baby. All right. Real quick, anyone here, round of applause if you're from Astoria. All right, we got some people visiting from Astoria. All right, cool. All right, well, anyone from Woodside? Nah. All right, looking for a ride home. Okay, cool. All right, we're gonna start. Let's just get started, baby. Let's get into it. All right, so this whole thing, we're gonna get this little area here, and I don't know if you guys recognize it. This is a little place called Hallett's Cove, Hallett's Point. It's like a little beach. It's named after a man named William Hallett. He was the first guy to buy land in the area in the 1650s, straight from good old Peter Stuyvesant. There's a little marker here, William Hallett, huh? Now, just so you guys know, look, this was a long time ago, so there's no pictures, so I just, here's an artist rendering of what he looked like. This guy bought land, and this is the 1600s. No one lived out there. It was actually very dangerous. Native Americans, who were there first, obviously, made it very difficult. This guy was there on his own. His descendants, though, in fact, in the 1700s, William Hallett III, he was actually, him and his wife and children were murdered in their beds by their own slaves who escaped. Look at that, huh? Yeah. All right. That's a dark topic, so here's a picture of my cat. Let's move on. That's right, Lemon, baby. Look at her. There she is. Look at her. Yee-hee. Lemon, oh, goodness. Violence is always bad, but it's also inevitable when you treat people with no dignity and give them no political recourse. Okay, great. Let's keep it moving. All right, we move on to Halsey, this man named Stephen Halsey. So it's State Farms. We talked about Hallett. That's why it's called Hallett's Cove. That was actually what the neighborhood was kind of called before this guy. So Halsey, this guy starts buying up land. He buys up a lot of land. In fact, at one point had 2,200 acres. Bought a ton of the land in this area, and this is what it kind of looked like. But he was the guy who was like, let's make this like an escape for the rich, huh? Build their houses. You can still see houses like this. This is called the Dr. Bailey's house. He actually built this. They built at the time. There's a few still left. They're around 12th Street and all that. It was because of the high points. You get these beautiful views and all that stuff. This is also another old picture. So here's another artist rendering. This is what he probably looked like. So Halsey is the guy who also, he was actually a fur trader. That was actually his job. So he was friends with this guy. Yeah, you guys ever heard of John Jacob Astor? Huh? Yeah, so what Halsey did was like, hey, I want to develop this area. So he goes to his rich friend, John Jacob Astor, and he's like, hey, man, I will name this town after you for $2,000. And John Jacob Astor's like, that's pretty sick. Do it. So he did. And then John Jacob Astor gave him $500. What a jerk. But that's what he did. And he was actually a beaver trader. People forget this. Now, New York City was actually built on the beaver trade. This is the actual city seal of New York. Check it out. You can see the little beavers there. I don't know if you can actually see them. It's kind of small. Let me zoom in real quick. There you go. All right, that's a... So the whole town is named after John Jacob Astor because of this guy's connection with Stephen Halsey, who was also a fur trader, all that stuff, and he named it after Astor. That's right. You can find out all about Astor and his start in the beaver trade, all that stuff, in the movie they actually did. Robert De Niro plays Astor. It's called The Beaver Hunter. There you go. I know. Come on, it's funny. Come on. All right, let's keep it moving. All right, so we're moving along. Right? You still have this place being developed. There's still not a ton of people there. So this guy, his name is Heinrich Steinway. German. The Germans. So this guy, Heinrich Steinway, starts a company called Steinway. Pianos, huh? You guys familiar with the pianos? His son, William Steinway, in 1870 says, you know what? I want to get us out of Manhattan, right? This is William Steinway. So stupid. I know, my Photoshop is not good, okay? But it's part of the charm, okay? So William Steinway says, you know what? I'm going to build this huge compound, a factory, all this stuff, and then build, stores and restaurants for all my workers. So he's the guy who actually moves everyone over to Astoria. That was his idea. There you can see like a little old picture here of what it looked like back then. Pretty cool. So he's the one who does this. Now, he also builds housing for all of his workers, hundreds of homes. This is a big deal. Now, you may be thinking, oh, what a nice guy. That's great. Well, the reason he was building homes all the way out here in this isolated areas, so they wouldn't be upset by union agitators. That's right, baby. Everything comes with a price. But you know what? That's fine. People moved out here, and you can see a lot of these old houses from back then still around today. In fact, here's a little fun fact. You can see this house here. Anyone recognize this house? No one?
Costanza's.
Yes, this is George Costanza's parents' house. Damn, nice work, dude. That was very impressive. That's right. This is George Costanza's, only one Seinfeld fan in the audience, huh? All right. I didn't know you guys were all anti-Semites. No, I'm just kidding. Wow, that's great. So yes, this is George Costanza's house. It's Jerry Stiller, his mom, all that stuff. They lived out there, man, and Seinfeld's pretty cool. So that is a little fun fact. There you go. Seinfeld, huh? No big deal. Seinfeld. All right. Great. Moving on. All right. Now, another thing they built. Now, another thing that the Steinway company built was a place called North Beach. North Beach, or Bowery Bay Beach to North Beach, and it was actually a theme park for the workers and their families and stuff like that. Pretty cool. You get to see a little picture there. During Prohibition, it shut down. Because if the parents can't have fun, the kids sure as hell can't have fun. If I'm getting a drink, I'm not going anywhere. So they shut it down, and a few years later, it became a municipal airfield. That's right, and today it is LaGuardia Airport. Look at that, baby. Look at that. Pretty cool. Thank God for Prohibition. You better not say that again out loud. I think it's got a lot of hot. But no, yes, this is an old picture of LaGuardia. You may not recognize it, so here's a more updated picture. There you go, LaGuardia Airport. All right, let's keep it moving. All right, so this is actually the Steinway Mansion. Still there, man. The Steinway Mansion is still there. Look at this beautiful home. It actually sold in 2014 for $2.65 million. But it's actually surrounded by warehouses. It used to sit on 440 acres. And now it is surrounded by all sides by warehouses. So for a mere $2.6 million, you can wake up to forklifts and catcalls, baby. Good for you. Save it and buy a studio in West Village or something. All right, moving along. Now, this is around the time that it started getting industrial. Mid-1800s, industry was looking for space. They were buying up, these areas where it was cheaper than the city and all that stuff, and they built things like I said, like the Steinway factory. But another thing that was built was this guy, Richard Hellman. You guys recognize that name? That's right, the king of disgusting condiments himself, huh? Yeah. Holy crap, is mayonnaise disgusting. But this guy actually had his factory in Astoria. That house is actually in Flushing, but the factory was in Astoria. He built this house shortly after becoming the king of mayonnaise. Huh? He became the king of mayonnaise. He built this house, and actually shortly after he built the house, his wife died, and he married a 21-year-old super fan of disgusting condiments, to live out her days with him. She actually became a professional golfer. Pretty cool. Yeah. So not only is Astoria famous for, ironically famous for diversity, it's also famous for being the home of the favorite condiment to white trash everywhere. Isn't that cool? Cover all the bases. Sorry, I really don't like mayonnaise. I don't know if you picked up on that. You probably love mayonnaise. But anyways, let's keep moving. All right, so now we're talking about some of the beauty of and also its connectivity. This is what made it grow. Remember, infrastructure is always what kind of makes neighborhoods in New York grow, whether it's the subway, bridges, roads, whatever. This is no exception. This is one of the bridges. It's called the Hellgate Bridge. Ooh, Hellgate, oh, the devil. So this was built in 1917. Gustav Lindenthal, who was obviously the designer of Queensboro Bridge. You guys knew that. Okay. Anyways, this was built in 1917. Today it is home to Amtrak lines and one freight line, but it was for trains. Trains came and went, all that stuff over it. And it is actually, here's a little fun fact, the model was one of the models for the Sydney Harbor Bridge. Huh? You guys ever been to Sydney? Okay, I'll just have to, start a Tom D's Big Sydney show one day, and maybe you guys will come out. But no, another fun fact about the Sydney Harbor Bridge, one of the people who worked on the Sydney Harbor Bridge, Paul Hogan. What? Those of you guys may not know that, Paul Hogan was Crocodile Dundee. He worked on the Sydney Harbor Bridge, huh? That's true. That's a picture of him right there. Very, very suggestive picture. I'm gonna get my, yeah, I know exactly. That's gonna change my algorithm, I think. But that's him. Pretty cool story, huh? That's a knife. That's a knife. You guys remember that? You Gen Z might not get that. All right, let's keep moving. Anyways, right in between Hellgate and the other bridge, which I will talk about in a second, is Astoria Park, baby. Oof, what a nice park. Beautiful park, early 1900s. It is open, very pretty. It's actually famous for its pool. The Astoria pool, the Astoria Park pool. It is humongous pool. It is a humongous pool. They actually held the Olympic trials there. It's such a big deal in the 1930s, 50s, and 60s. It's a pretty amazing pool. Very great technology also, because in the summer, it only has to be 40% filled. Did you guys know this? Because the other 60% is child piss. So just so you guys know. That's right. So I wouldn't swim in it too long. On the other side of that park is the Triboro Bridge, baby. The Triboro Bridge, 1936. What a monumental feat of engineering. This was, I don't know if you guys knew this was one of the biggest, if not the biggest project during the Great Depression, using WPA money of FDR. This required 31 million man-hours from 134 different cities in 20 states. All of this for this bridge. It was actually bigger than the Hoover Dam, a big deal, and it was the brainchild of this guy, Robert Moses. Yeah, boo, boo. Long Island, you know about Robert Moses, right? Yeah, he's an interesting guy. Let's just say that. I'll leave it. I could do a whole show on him, but it was his brainchild. Pretty interesting story how he did this. And little fun fact, at the actual inauguration, at 1936, a man named Tony Bennett sang. Huh? He sang at the inauguration of the bridge. You guys know him? Yes. He's the guy who sings, "Fly me to the moon and let me play amongst the stars." How you doing, everybody? Let me know what life is like on Jupiter and Mars. All right, don't forget to tip your bartenders. All right, cool. Hey, thank you, man. Holy crap. All right, let's keep it moving. I'm almost done here. All right, so this is a very diverse neighborhood, obviously. So it's big for its Latin American population, but it's also big because it has a little Egypt on Steinway Street. I don't know if you guys knew this. Has a little street, little area on Steinway Street known as Little Egypt. You can get some good, and it's not just Egypt. It's Moroccan, Tunisian, Palestinian, all kinds of groups have their restaurants and all that kind of stuff. You can go check them out there. But its most famous group in Astoria is the Greeks, baby. That's right, the Greeks. That's where you go. You go to Astoria, man. There's almost 200,000 Greeks or Greek Americans in New York City. It's a big deal, and a lot of them live here in Astoria. There were different waves of this Greek immigration. One was in the late 1800s to come for a lot of those industrial jobs. The other was in the mid 1900s, 1960s to the 1980s. There was actually a civil war in Greece. People forget that Greece wasn't even like an independent country until the 1820s. That's nuts. It actually had to get its independence from the Ottoman Empire. Then in the 1960s, 1980s, there was like a military junta. You know, that was the whole thing. You remember the Cold War? Huh? No. We're about to go back to it. Don't you worry. But the Greeks were still a big part of the neighborhood. You could see all the Greek people walking around. And I know my artist renderings are pretty bad, so here's an AI rendering of a Greek. There you go. Our artists' jobs are still safe, because that's good. And lastly, and also I forgot to mention, so I do have a YouTube channel, not a big deal, but I forgot to mention that the Greeks are part of the diner culture. The diner culture, they actually have the kafinions, they call them, kafinions, and it's a big part of the socializing of the Greeks amongst each other and all that stuff. So that was one of the reasons why they gravitated towards the next closest thing here in the United States, which is the diner. And I bring that up because I actually went to the Seinfeld Diner, which is in Morningside Heights, and it's run by this very nice Greek man. So yeah, go ahead and check it out if you can. You got a chance. Okay. All right. Anyways, last thing here I want to talk about is the museum here. There's a Museum of the Moving Image here in Astoria that was actually on the grounds of Kaufman Astoria Studios. Now, they were talking 1920s before Hollywood went to actual Hollywood. Adolf Zukor had Paramount Pictures having its headquarters there and all that stuff. And, interestingly enough, they shot tons of famous movies here. Goodfellas, Carlito's Way, The Wiz. They shot lots of famous TV shows like, Orange is the New Black, Succession, Cosby Show. There you go. All right, there you go. Don't think of a Cosby. All right. So yeah, and also here's a little fun fact. Paramount Pictures was actually named not after anything else, but was named after a building in the Upper West Side. That's right, the Paramount apartment building on 99th Street. That's where one of the founders lived. So look at that. Huh? How about that fact, you freaks? Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. Unbelievable. So here we go, guys. We made it through. We talked about Astoria. We talked about all the beauty. There's tons of beauty. There's little homes, very, very bucolic, very peaceful and quiet. There at the end of the end, you have lots of great food options, and you have all these different countries represented, including the country of Greece, baby. You know? Isn't that cool? So we covered Astoria. What do you think of that? All right. We got to keep this show moving, baby, but I got another comic for you. You guys super excited to bring up? What do you guys think? You guys learn a little bit about Astoria, huh? Yeah! What did the people who live in Astoria think? Astorians?